and situation is a 14-year-old student having a hard time on his online class while coping up with his studies, especially on math class. So, mo na siya yung mga analysis na ako. Why is online class and mathematics needed? So, for studies, for future career, for curriculum requirement, for the benefit of the student, for calculation. Then, how will the online class and mathematics be used? So, na medium, channel, type, text, discourse, and presentation. So for the medium, na speaking, writing, reading, and solving, sa channel, laptop, mobile phones, tablet, and else. Then for type of tech discourse, academic text, PDF files, PowerPoint. Then for presentation, there na YouTube, Khan Academy, website tutorial. Then who will the learner use the online class in mathematics with? So na teachers, instructor, classmates, level of knowledge of receiver, expert, student, then demand, and relationship, colleague, teacher, relatives, friends, acquaintance. Well, where will the online class in mathematics be used? Physical setting, human context, linguistic context. So for physical setting, na ang office, lecture, theater, workshop, library, day-to-day life. For human context, ng alone, meetings, demonstration, laptop, mobile phones. Then for linguistic context, in my own country and abroad. Then, when will the online class in mathematics be used? Concurrently with the mathematics course or subsequently. And for the online class, it is for everybody's access, especially to the student body and the institution. Then, moving onwards sa akong conclusion, therefore, I concluded that the importance of online teaching to the student had made an impact towards their interest and motivation, which made a huge difference on how they deal on the classroom setting environment rather than on the online class. What will be the approach to the course? So, mauna ako. My approach toward the course is by having them some alternative solutions on dealing with their problem solving when it comes to math. It will be easier if they make some solving and then they have to do it by solving manually on a piece of paper and send a copy by getting an image or picture by their output. Because for my generalization, I find out that it will be difficult for the student if they make some prior solving on Excel or spreadsheet by putting over the formulas and solution. To make their lives a lot easier, that's the better solution that I made through. On an online teaching, as a facilitator or instructor, my approach will be conducive and effective by applying the higher order thinking skills approach that will instill in their mind the greater value of having an education, whether it is online or classroom setting. So, what will be your content? The content of my lesson will focus more on the area that the student is having a hard time to answer. I will make some activities that the student will find out interesting and convincing so that he comes to solving mathematics will be fun and interesting. Then, so here is my objectives on teaching the student. So bali nakakuan siya sa walo ka steps. First is teaching preparation. So for teaching preparation, before preparing the lesson, I should know the target weakness of the student so that I could polish and give some proper lesson for him or her to catch up. Then second is devise various learning activities. Diri, the student has different types of learning approach, so I should make some activities that will be in line with the capability of doing and understanding. Third is that design meaningful learning situations. As a remedial teacher, I should give them some lessons and various task points that are easy and interesting in the same way so that they will retain the lesson easily. Fourth will
Okay.
be teaching.
All right. So let's stop with that, Carla. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So before we end your presentation, let me ask a few questions. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
basically, give me a one sentence description of your target situation.
My target situation, ma'am, is that a student having a hard time in uh,
That's
a hard time answering his or her math lesson in
O-
online
Okay, so
class.
that's the current situation. What is your I mean target ba? Meaning to say, what is your
Ah, my
hindi
target towards ah, yes ma'am.
kanang end end objectives sa imong sa klase.
Kuan
Okay,
ma'am. So
mhm.
to make the class a lot more easier and kuan ma'am, convenient sa student ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, then let's go with the learning needs. Aside from the situation, what are other needs that the student is currently um, or what are the needs, what are the specific needs of the student aside sa maglisod siya og cope with the online class?
Kuan ma'am. Maglisod siya og formulate og solutions sa spreadsheet ug sa Excel ma'am.
Okay, so that's why you opt for katong i-scan lang ang picture or ang answer. Okay.
Yes, yes ma'am.
Right. So
Alternative way.
it's what we are actually doing right now, especially sa math courses during online classes. Thank you so much, Calda. But there's one thing that I have a problem with. You focus
Ah,
on
yes ma'am.
another subject. It's supposed to be, you know, in relation to your major, which is English, which is teaching, and
Ah, yes ma'am.
language, and so on. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much, Calda. You did great. Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much. You
ma'am.
may now take the exam. You may now leave
Ah,
the
perfect.
meeting and then take the exam. Thank you so much. See you on Monday.
Yeah ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Next let's have Magsayo.
Me, ma'am.
Okay. It's for a while. I will get your elect two. Okay. Who's next with Licanto?
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Kasunod ni Licanto, please. Everyone,
Tapping, ma'am.
tapping. Sige, para ma-download
Yes,
na ko
ma'am.
daan. Okay, let's listen to Magsayo on her presentation of her needs analysis. Okay, and then you may now take the floor, Vanessa.
Wait lang, mama.
Okay.
Okay. So, for a while. Okay. So, mine is needs analysis for a worker in a machinery company who wants to get a promotion. So, my student is a male, 27 years old male, a worker in a machinery company, and he wants to improve English skills for possible promotion and communication within the company. So the objectives of our course would be to widen his vocabulary, improve pronunciation and comprehension, and develop formal and polite conversations.
Mhm.
So by the end of our course or by the end of this course, the student should be able to communicate effectively, comprehend difficult words on the reviewer given by the company, and pronounce words finer. So our means of learning would be face-to-face or physical discussion, reviewing secondary English knowledge, his knowledge prior,
Mhm.
online materials, for example, like videos or articles, and then activities like role play and mock conversations, quizzes, etc.
Okay.
So as for our lesson one, the goal of our lesson one would be to review his prior knowledge or secondary English course.
Mhm.
So the first part would be the part of speech. We will be discussing the parts of speech and analyze them. The next one is sentence agreements. And then after reviewing those two, I will be assessing him again. We will be having a quiz, a
Mhm.
short quiz. Then as for lesson two, the lesson two would be widening of vocabulary and conversation starters. So introducing difficult words and practicing the pronunciation. And then the next one would be introducing possible conversations that he might encounter during his or when he is at work, during a meeting or during a lecture or discussion within the company. And then the next one would be using difficult words, which we have discussed, using difficult words in a sentence or in a conversation.
Mhm.
Okay. So the lesson three would be reviewing the company commissioned manual. So since he was given a manual to study for their upcoming exam for promotion. So we will be discussing parts of the manual. So what is the content of the manual? We will be tackling those. We will also the explanation of the difficult words that he might encounter, and then comprehension practice. I will ask him to tell me or to report to me what he had understood about the manual. Then lesson four would be reassessing the learner's new knowledge. So this is to see if he had understood what we discussed. So role playing possible company interactions. So this will be we will be having like a mock conversation or a role play wherein I will be his manager and he is the worker, or vice versa, or I am a coworker, etc. And then a mock exam for the to 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 reassess if he really had understood our discussions. And lastly, inquire of clarifications. If there is something that he did not understand or something that he wants to ask, he can clarify me with it. So that is mine now.
Okay, thank you so much. Very well done, Vanessa. Okay, just point for clarification. What is the learning needs of the student? Basically, what is his necessities, lacks, and wants? Okay, we know what he wants. What are the necessities? And we already know what is necessities. You mentioned that. How about the
Yes.
lacks? What does the student lack to, in this class?
The first thing that he lacks, mom, is since he's very since he thinks that he only has his knowledge, like the secondary English course knowledge that he has,
Mhm.
he is still not so
Confident.
um, confident, and his vocabulary is also not that good.
Limited. Okay. All right.
Limited, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well done. Thank you so much, Vanessa. A
Yes.
round of applause. Well done. Okay. So thank you so much. You may now take the exam and
Thank you,
then
ma'am.
see you on Monday. Thank you so much. You may
Ye-
now leave the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next presenter. We have Licanto, right? Okay, but while I'm preparing for Licanto's document, who will go after tapping? Sige, kinsa man. Please
Gabas, ma'am.
unmute. Gabas. Who else?
Anak niyo lang.
Gabas. Kinsa pa? Sige na, please ko og kuan kay para mausan na siya tanan. Mausan na kog open. Anybody? Wala, last call. All right, so let's go start with Licanto now on his
Hi
presentation.
guys.
Okay, all right, let's listen. You may take now you may now
So,
take the floor.
good morning guys. My target situation is for trainee call center agents who wants to improve their English language skills in conversation. So their language is needed for work as an aspiring call center agent in training. So
Mhm.
obviously it will be used by speaking through telephone or um, computer. So um, So the learners are young Filipinos who are more likely to be high school graduate and above. And they have some basic knowledge about the language, but they lack the actual experience of using it in a normal conversation and also has lack of appropriate grammar. So they they want to be able to communicate fluently in English. So on my course plan, I have these learning outcomes. So by the end of this course, the learners will have an improved knowledge about the language. The learners can now use English in a normal conversation. The learners can use appropriate grammar in different contexts. The learners can speak fluently the language and have some basic knowledge about situational scenarios in a call center environment. So my course plan is divided into 4 lessons. So before going on our lesson 1, there will be an orientation wherein I will introduce the subject and ask for their expectations towards the subject, and continuing on with a diagnostic assessment towards the learner's current level of English language. So on lesson 1, I will be reteaching basic English. After finishing the assessment and analyzing the level of the students, I will further enhance their foundations by reviewing what they have learned in their past schools. For example, there is parts of the sentence, clauses, subject-verb agreement, kinds of sentences, and the likes. So on lesson 2, to further improve their skills in speaking the language, the strategy that I will use is through reading. So in lesson 2, there will be a reading comprehension such as pronunciations, new word vocabulary, and reading. On lesson 3, after having better understanding of the language, it is now time for using it in practical situation in relation to the course. So there will be applications such as practice common call center scenarios and different grammars in different situations, activities involving English conversations. And on the lesson 4, this is the final lesson, and it is for evaluating the progress of the students and to check how well they can handle themselves through a mock-up test. So I will have a mock-up final demonstration and application that will evaluate their progress. That is all. Thank you.
All right, very good. Well done. Thank you so much, Licanto. Okay, just a few comment, no, just a few clarification. So your students or trainees or call center agents who wants to improve their English language skills and conversation. And you forgot one thing that is very important in call center, and that is the accent.
Right.
Okay? All right. So
Ma'am.
it's very important also for them to be able to have a neutral, not American accent, but a neutral accent that can be both understood by native speakers of a certain language, like for example, British English and American English. So you forgot to mention that one. Okay, so probably muna siya ang lacks na wala na to na identify sa needs analysis. So, importante po na siya. Alright, but aside from that, overall, it's everything is very well laid out. Thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Licanto. You may now take the midterms exam and you may now leave the
Yes.
Zoom meeting. See you on Monday.
Bye
Thank you so
guys. Good
much.
luck.
Bye.
All right. Let's proceed with
Tapping.
tapping. Okay. All right. After tapping, Gabas, who will follow Gabas? Anybody? Para makuha
Oh,
na
di.
ko. Ma-extract dayon na ko ang kuan.
Silvano, ma'am.
Okay, Silvano. Who else? Sige na, everyone.
Bakang, ma'am.
Silvano, Bakang, kinsa pa? Wala mo lang sana. Okay. All right, so let's go on her presentation of her needs analysis. Go, girl.
Good afternoon, guys. So my needs analysis is for grade 8 high school students. So my students are male and female, more or less 18 years old, graduating students in junior high school who wants to improve reading comprehension, sentence, and vocabulary skills in English. So my objectives are to improve comprehension and apprehension skills and better vocabulary skills and efficient in proper usage of parts of speech and coherent sentence construction. So my expected outcome is to be able to have improved reading comprehension and apprehension skills, become familiar with difficult and unfamiliar words, be able to acquire techniques and better understanding of questionnaires, and be able to organize sentence coherently. My means of learning is face-to-face or in classroom discussion. So I will be using the authentic materials, which are the reviewer materials and the textbooks for references. Then my assessment activities will be quiz and more on mock examination. So the content of my lesson would be the parts of speech that would include the basic English and introduction to college English, and also basic syntax lessons and basic pragmatic lessons. So the final part of the lesson is the mock exam in order to assess the students learning.
Okay. All right. Very short and
Ma'am.
concise. Thank you so much, Taping. So, in one short sentence, what is your target situation?
My target my target situation is um the grade 8 high school grade 8 graduating juniors high school students will be um getting ready to who will be reviewing for um entrance exam in the college, ma'am.
Junior high school, mag-college, for sure ba?
Ay, senior high school dahil sayop kay ma'am.
Okay, so senior high school,
Ala, senior
alright.
dahil ma'am, senior.
Alright, so this is a alright, so basically
Ala, junior.
it's a review, no? It's a review of
Yes, ma'am.
comprehension and koan. And did you mention here the learning needs of the students? Unsay kulang sa laha, basically comprehension, no? Comprehension, sentence,
Comprehension, apprehension.
comprehension of
Vocabulary, ma'am.
okay, vocabulary skills. So it will be a tough class if you would ask me, no? But anyway, thank you so much, Taping. Very short and concise. Well done. Okay, so you may now take the midterms exam and you may now leave the Zoom meeting. See you on Monday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go proceed with
Gabas.
Gabas.
Short
Okay.
kinakuha, ma'am.
All right, you're going to talk about
Needs analysis for a student who needs to learn English as an advanced study, ma'am. Kani siya gi-picture out ay gi-base ni nako siya for my son bitaw, ma'am, kay kailangan pa niya og like tutor ba, like kinahanglan pa niya for his so student nako is male, 8 years old student. He wants to learn and write basic English. So kay elementary pa man siya, so kailangan niya og he really wants basic English kay although maka-recite siya or makabasa siya English but dili gid kayo. So here are the objectives: develop reading and writing skills in English, and second is to improve his comprehension kay as sa mga students karon or mga pupil karon dili pa man gud ila kay like basa-basa lang gid ba. So he needs to improve his comprehension. So by the end of the instruction, the student will be able to learn how to spell, read, and comprehend. So means of learning kay naraman mi sa balay so face-to-face discussion. Next is books, then online materials which is accessible ra pud kaayo sa amoa kay nara mo pud mi kuan laptop or internet. So makuan na ko siya din. Ang lessons is reading, like ang mga topics is reading foundation skills, like so kay dili pa man gid kayo fluent ang iyahang pagka like magbasa siya. So first buhaton is review the lessons sa previous grade. Next is magsugod gid mi sa pinaka basic which is the phonics and word recognition. Siya kanang like start sa bata pag muskwila, kailangan din nila og mga sounds like para ma-familiarize. Next is reading fluency. Next is reading poems. Then ask and answer questions kay para to kuan ba nga kanang kung nakasabot ba gyud siya sa iyang gibasa. Next is lesson 2 which is the grammar, parts of speech. So naa diri ang parts of sentence structures, punctuations and capitalizations, spelling and spelling patterns, vocabulary and concepts, and development. Yes, mara na siya, ma'am.
Okay, alright. Dagan kayo, no? For an 8-year-old.
Basic naman pod, ma'am. Mga basic.
Unsa na grade ng 8-year-old?
Grade 3, ma'am.
Grade 3. Okay. Okay. Alright. It's a perfect plan, no? Pero we also have to consider the learning needs sa bata. Is he capable of those kinds of lessons? Like for example, reading poems. You just mentioned nga dili pa kay siya kabalo mabasa og kanang straight baka ha or something like that. Or dili pa siya ka-recognize og kanang daghan nga words nga magsumpay. So that's okay. Hinahinay lang pud, girl. Grabe pud ka ay.
Harsh kay ma'am.
Harsh kay kasi mong anak, girl. Okay. So
anak gid mo.
Okay, so we have to consider Uy, grabe sad ka. We have to consider the learning ability of our student and the level as well. Okay. Isod po do ipugos na to magdugoon niya, hilak
magdugo niya.
Makuha niya siya ba? Makuha siya ba kanang matrauma siya ba instead of putting into his mind nga dapat magkat-on ka ani mahadlok na noon siya kay kuan. Grabe ka, you know. Okay, but grade 3 students dili pa kay sila jud to be honest kanang maka-form og sentence. No? Wala na siya word recognition but reading kana basic na sa grade 3 pero ang mag-write gyud og whole sentences dili pa kay siya. Malimtan pa na nila, girl. Yes, okay, so well done. Thank you so much.
Pangwan sa kong anak, ma'am, no?
Oo, pero advance kayo imong lessons dai, no? So we
have
manam. Grabe ko. Inahan gyud. Oo, pero but we have to be also practical and feasible dapat ang ato ang plan bitaw sa atong course or sa atong class, especially if mong tutor ka. Palahira jud ng tutor or magklase. Okay, but anyways, thank you so much, Gabas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you may now take the midterms exam and you may now leave the Zoom meeting. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay. Next, let's have who's next? Silvano, right? Silvano, Bakang, and then who will go after?
Ako.
Orquilias. Sunod ka ni Bakang?
Okay.
Okay?
Una si Orquilias, ma'am.
Una, Silvano, Orquilias. Sorry naman kayo.
Okay, ma'am.
Or sagot lang kayo ha. Orquilias, kinsa pa after Bakang, Orquilias, Bakang, dayon kinsa man?
Montenegro, ma'am. Coronel.
Montenegro. Ha?
Montenegro.
Coronel, dayon.
Mansera.
Kinsa pa man?
Hoy, tingog mo, oy.
Kinsa pa?
Langan, gamute. Saan pagkadungog?
Or, sige. Chill lang po do. Okay, so let's have one last Silvano for 5 minutes, and then we have to exit the Zoom meeting because we're running out of time, but we have to enter right back. Katong wala pa ka-present mo, enter lang og balik, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's hear it from Silvano. Go, girl.
So, good afternoon, ma'am. The target learner and its situation. So, the target learner of this analysis is a female 20 years old student who is taking up an education major in mathematics. So, these students need to learn English language because her instructor wants them to speak English fluently in every demonstration, reporting, oral recitation, and having discourse during the class hours. So these are the identified needs of the students. So she lacks oral competence. She can easily think and construct sentence, and even she has no confidence to speak up. And only what she know are such basic grammars, a little knowledge about morphology and syntax. So basically, this student needs to learn English language and to enhance her speaking and communication skills. So the response and action will be, as an assigned teacher, I would help her to overcome this kind of
Dili.
deficit. So first, I will introduce her the topic of phonology or phonetics, which is study of speech sounds in her physical aspect. Since the student experienced difficulty in oral, this is the one of the stepping stone in overcoming this kind of deficit. So the second is I will reintroduce the syntax lesson. As mentioned to the analysis that she knows little about syntax, this lesson could help her to construct the sentence, and also the pragmatic lessons for her to understand the meaning of the sentence clearly. So the third one will be I will give her an activity where she can improve her speaking skills, such as let her speak in front, let her read some stories, articles aloud. Encourage her to write her ideas or opinions about some issues. Make her to listen attentively in every discussion, and etc. So the lastly is I will motivate her to boost her confidence in speaking in front and not to be intimidated by the people who surrounds her, and also giving her an advice to love reading books and also listening, watching videos that could help her improving her oral skills. So the outcomes will be at the end of the class, the student will able to overcome this kind of deficit, which is oral skills.
Okay, well done. Well done. Very good. Thank you so much, GY. Okay, very well laid out. So the problem or the learning needs and target situation is that the student should be able to speak fluently and confidently in demonstrations like reporting, oral presentations, and discourse during class hours. So very well done. You have to, of course, present first phonology and pronunciation, improve pronunciation, then sentence construction, and pragmatics of meaning of the sentence. Very good. Okay, thank you so much, Silvano. Well done. Very good,
Ma'am,
very
thank you,
good.
ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. So you may now take the midterms exam and you may now leave the Zoom meeting and see you on Monday. And for the
Thank you,
rest,
ma'am.
you're welcome. For the rest who are on the line, please, I will end the meeting right now because we're running out of time, but we will start right away. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
after I end the meeting, sulod dayon mo ato nga link, same password, same kuan, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, entiendes?
See.
See, okay. Well, okay. See you in a bit.